Hi, my name is Madeline Davies, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a back handspring. And a back handspring looks just like this. So before you start, you want to make sure that you stretch. So a proper way to stretch is to stretch out your wrists just like this, and you're going to want to hold each stretch for about 20 seconds. So you're going to want to stretch out your wrists like this, and as well as this way, just hands on the ground, just like this. And then you want to put your palms facing each other, just to make sure that you have the proper motion. And then as well, just go back again. Just make sure that they feel good, like that. And you're also going to want to stretch out your back by going into a back bridge and holding for about 20 seconds as well. You're going to want to make sure that you stretch out your shoulders. So these are some good stretches, just like this. As well as this, I'd hold these for 20 seconds. And you're going to want to go behind your head just to make sure that your shoulders have the proper range of motion. As well as this one. So before you start, you're going to want to make sure that you have both a back walkover and a back limber. And these are two skills that come right before the back handspring skill-wise. And these look just like this. This is going to be a back walkover. And then a back limber is just the same thing, but with your feet together. So a back limber is pretty much just a back handspring, but slowed down. And that's a skill that you're going to want to have before you start flipping and putting more power into it. You also want to make sure that you're in proper attire. So I'm wearing cheer shoes as well as some shorts and a loose fitting tank top because it is something that you want to be able to move around in. So clothes like jeans and tighter fitting shirts are going to restrict you and you won't be able to complete the skill. So the back handspring is pretty much a power skill. So you're going to want to have this if you're a cheerleader or a gymnast who is wanting to do harder skills, as this is something that you want to have because it allows you to gain more power and you can start connecting skills. So connections include like back handspring, back tucks, layouts, and stuff like that. The back handspring is also the very first flipping skill. So this is the first one that you go back in and you jump backwards. So right after this comes the standing tuck, which is something that most people want to work on after they get their round off back handspring. As somebody who knows how to do this skill, this is one of the hardest skills to get, as there's such things called mental blocks that happen, and it's where your mind tells you that you can't do it, but you can physically do the skill. And that was one of the hardest things for me because I felt that the backwards motion was one of the hardest things to overcome. But now that I can do that, it's something that I'm so used to, and it's something that I can easily throw any day of the week. Wow. That's called a mental block, and you just bail out, but don't do that because that's not good. So the best way to explain the skill is by standing up. So this is called, there's about 3 steps to this skill. So it's pretty much tall like a tree, and then you're gonna bend like a C, and then you're gonna jump backwards and then do it. So that's pretty much how I explain it. But first you wanna have a spot there to make sure that you can do it before you do it by yourself. So I have my spot here, and she's just gonna have her hand on my back before I go backwards so that I know that I'm okay to do the skill by myself. And she's just gonna hold my back just in case I bail out, or if anything happens, she's gonna be there just to help me get over. Okay, and then that's pretty much all she does. She just stands there and just holds my back to make sure that I am capable of the skill. So if anything goes wrong, she can just help me get over. Once you know that you're capable of doing the back handspring by yourself, you're gonna wanna throw it. And the best way to explain it again is just tall like a tree, bend like a C, and then jump. And then you're gonna wanna throw yourself backwards, and your hands are gonna touch and your feet are gonna flip over. So once you're ready to throw it, it's gonna look just like this. And once you're completed with that, then you pretty much got this skill, and from now it's just going to take time for you to work on improving it and making sure that you straighten your legs, but that is all things that come after the fact, and that's something that you can work on after you have the skill completed. So the back handspring is a skill that you're not going to get first try. It is something that you're going to have to spend a lot of time working on and stuff like that to perfect. And for me personally, it took me well over a year to perfect, as I learned in 8th grade, and then I came into high school with my back handspring, but it still needed a lot of cleanup. But now it's something that I am so used to throwing. However, learning the back handspring is something that I'm so passionate about, and I'm so glad that I ended up doing it, because it is now something that I can go off of, and it's something that I can now have a lot more power to do skills like my round off back handspring tuck. And this right here is an example of a round off back handspring back tuck. And there's also something called a round off back handspring, and that's one of the most basic skills that any gymnast or cheerleader can have, a tumbler, and it looks something like this. So this right here is going to be the round off back handspring, and the round off before is going to give you more power in order to complete your back handspring. So once you can solidly do your back handspring, you're going to want to add some more fun skills, and there's something called a back handspring step out, which is pretty much just like a back handspring, but you're doing one leg at a time, and it looks really cool. And it's pretty much like a jumping back walkover, kind of like the thing that I showed at the beginning, and it looks something like this. So skills like this are for show, and they look so much better than just a standing back handspring. And when you're ready to start connecting skills, some of these skills could include a round off back handspring, or I'm going to show you how to do a cartwheel back handspring step out, as that is one of my favorites. So just in overall, the back handspring is one of the most important skills a cheerleader should have, as it is something that is a good start to go off of, and it's something that you can improve on, and it's going to be something that leads you to further skills that have more difficulty. So for me personally, I'm really glad that I learned how to do this like freshman year, because I now have other skills like a standing back tuck and stuff like that, which is a lot harder, but it allows me to go further and gain more skills. So I really hope that you enjoyed learning how to do this, and I really hope that you guys learned something new. But yeah, thank you!